Effect podcast. I'm Colin.
And I'm Nathan.
We have another very special episode. We have the 1976 movie, The Outlaw Josey Wales. Nathan, do you have a history of The Outlaw Josey Wales?
This is one of those movies I saw parts of as a kid, like growing up, but I never saw it as one movie
Okay.
all the way through until in the 90s or something. Like when I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
started buying DVDs and watching movies. And
Yeah, this I like almost associate like Clint Eastwood westerns with like James Bond movies where it's like you see a piece of it on, cable and then like, wait, which one's this? It's like I'd have the same thing with Clint Eastwood movies. Like, is this Pale Rider? Is this paint your or no, what's yeah, is it Paint Your Horses or Paint the Town? Paint the Wagon. Is this the Outlaw Josey Wales? Like, when it's when it's crap. What is it? The Man with No Name trilogy. You know when it's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You know when it's a Fistful of Dollars. But the other
yeah,
ones, no idea.
yeah, these are like kind of the post that these are the less spaghetti westerns, more the western westerns.
Yeah, these are '70s westerns rather than because those all the Fistful of Dollars stuff is like in the '60s, I think. So
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I've seen parts of this. Yeah, like I said, this and Pale Rider, and because this doesn't have the sound. The way you can distinguish this from the Leone or movies is it doesn't have the wild kind of
yeah,
sound.
yeah,
These are much more conventional,
yes,
and also they're costumed and everything really cool. '70s was like a golden age for westerns. I think they really got the formula down. Actually, Clint Eastwood's he, if you've seen the Unforgiven and you've seen this, it's like, oh, there's a lot of cross pollination there. It's I
yeah.
could tell. And he said this was probably one of his best movies. He really loved it. So
I don't know. I don't know what they did to like clean it up, but it looks really good in the version I was watching. So because
yeah,
it didn't necessarily look like it was a movie from the '70s.
no, I think they did like a pass on it and maybe even a filter. I don't know. I have the
Yeah,
DVD, but yeah, it seemed like a lot more deep green than what I remember
yeah.
from the TV stuff. But it could be I just have better TV equipment too, and I watched it on this thing. So whatever this screen is, expensive is what it was. So.
It's probably one of those 4K. What do they call that? Like eye something? I forget what that is. Like eye perfect or something. Like their perfect
Yeah,
eye. Like there's
some
something where it's like the human eye cannot see detail beyond this point, so we really don't need to go further. And so
yeah,
that's what they did. So.
whatever Apple stuff they did. But I will say this is the best screen I've ever had in my life. And if this dies, I will immediately replace it. So for watching, especially high definition movies and stuff, even older movies, is like this. This always looks good. It does the sound good. So yeah, I appreciated this viewing of it a lot.
When's the last time since you watched it, you think?
Oh, I watched it. Well, I probably watched it on my big TV like 4 years ago.
Okay.
My old big TV, not my new one. So, but yeah, this is a good looking, 70s western.
It's based. Did you ever? Because it's based on a book. Did you ever read the book?
No,
Okay.
I don't know anything really much about it beyond as presented.
Okay.
I do know about the book and who wrote it. He was not a nice guy.
um, yeah, I guess. Yeah, directed by Clint Eastwood. Came out June 30th, 1976. I guess a summer movie. I guess I don't know. I don't know how well it did or what it opened. I guess let's look it up. Let's look up what it opened up against that year. Let's see here. Box office June 30th, 1976. Oh, it's not gonna be. Oh, did I just write box? Okay, let's try box office. That might be more. Is that right? Oh, The Omen. Okay.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah.
Huh. Okay. Which is probably a more famous movie.
Yeah.
Something called The Big Bus. I don't know what that is. A
Did a lot
comedy,
of
apparently.
movies in the '70s. Yeah.
Um, yeah, directed by Clint Eastwood. Written by Philip Kaufman and Sonia Chernus.
Yeah, that's how I said it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know Philip. Yeah, he wrote Indiana Jones. That's right. He's like kind of a more famous writer, and apparently he was a director on this, and then Clint Eastwood took over at some point.
Yeah. Well,
And there's a lot of weird stuff with that, and what's her name, Sandra Block. Something.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's just like a love triangle there. So,
Yeah. Philip Kaufman wanted to further explore what a bad guy, the guy who wrote the Rebel Outlaw Josey Wales was,
yeah,
Asa Carter, and because this was kind of like, I don't know, you might call this revisionist. I would say it's more like, oh, this is how some of the guys in the South might have felt.
yeah.
Who none of them apparently owned slaves or anything. They were just victimized by Northern troops. He actually was, and but yeah, I guess Kaufman wanted to I want to explore that part of it more, and Clint Eastwood was like, no, the script's fine, we're not doing it. And he's like, you're fired, get off the set. It's like, okay, your typical taciturn Clint Eastwood conversation that he's famous for.
Oh, is he also a producer on this?
I believe no. I think he just wrote the. I think he had.
No, it was Clint Eastwood, the producer on this, where he could fire Philip
No,
Kaufman.
he was just the director.
Huh?
He was the director. Clint Eastwood was became the director.
Well, no, I read some trivia that said Philip Kaufman started directing, and then Clint Eastwood took over.
Yeah.
So how did Clint Eastwood fire him if he wasn't
the producers? And
okay. That's what I was asking. So.
Yeah. Because he swung a big heavy hammer. I think Warner Brothers had a multi-film deal with Clint Eastwood at that time. So he's like, what he said goes. Because he doesn't say a whole lot.
Apparently there's a rule that came out of that from the Directors Guild, where if you fire a director, you cannot have somebody in the cast replace them.
Okay. The Eastwood rule.
I don't know how much that's adhered to. I don't know how much this stuff happens, but whatever. So. Yeah, he wrote the right stuff. Indiana Jones, Rising Sun. If you remember that thing. And then then after that he's kind of just associated with the Indiana Jones character. He's not really doing a lot of writing after that. And then what's his director efforts? Oh, okay, director Rising Sun. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was the one with in Japan, right? Or about Japan?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think it's in Japan, but I think it's about a Japanese emissary, and then for some reason Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery are investigating a murder or something like that. So.
Oh, he did Quills. That was a sexy movie. I think that was the one about the Marquis de Sade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I never saw Twisted.
Yeah, I don't recognize that. It sounds... Oh, which one's that? It's got Ashley Judd and Samuel L. Jackson in it.
And...
Andy Garcia.
Garcia. Yeah, I don't remember that
Is this around that, the Kiss the Girls and, what's the Catch a Spider or whatever? Ashley Judd,
oh, yeah.
thriller era?
Based on the Patterson novels or whatever. Yeah.
Or what was that? Double Jeopardy. She was in a bunch of those movies, so maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe this was just another one. It's got a 5.3 rating on Internet Movie Database, which probably means it's bad, but still a competent movie. So.
Also directed the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, the 78 one. Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of a.
I need to watch all those movies one time because I hear they're all good in different ways.
Yeah. The 56 one is good. Someone did a whole retrospective of all of them, and yeah, it's like you said. It's like there's stuff to like in all of them. None of them are perfect. They all get good. Well, they're all telling the same story about we don't like communist invaders, but they're doing it each time from a different frame.
Because I know there's the crap. We always forget his name. Donald Sutherland one. That's the 70s one, right?
Yeah, it's 78. Yeah.
And I think I confused that because he was also in Puppet Masters, which is basically Invasions of the Body Snatchers, but in the 90s.
Essentially, yeah.
But then there's an 80s one where, do you ever remember the show Burn Notice?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
So like the Irish chick in that movie, she's in the '80s one, and she has like a famous line of like, "Where are you gonna go? Like, what are you gonna do?" It's she's not screaming at people, and it's like a more haunting line, I guess. um. So yeah, I've heard good things about all versions of Invasions of the Body Snatchers. So, um, so yeah, it's Philip Kaufman. I knew I recognized his name somewhere. I can't remember like, cause like was he like, yeah, cause he like, yeah, he just kind of falls off the face of the earth after 2004, and I thought he was like a, crap, what do you call that? LucasArts guy or something like that, but I can't remember. 'Cause, you know, they don't always just do.
Yeah.
They do a lot. They do a lot of stuff.
Well, he's 88 years old now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but what was he doing when he was 70?
Yeah. That's what I want to know.
Bruce cinematographer was Bruce Surtees, which I know we've had him before.
Oh, he's married to Nancy Pelosi's daughter. Interesting.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he did Dirty Harry, Firefox, so he worked with Eastwood a lot. Did Beverly Hills Cop, one of the Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh, he did my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, the Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And he also did a lot of my favorite like guilty pleasure Clint Eastwood movies like Firefox,
Yeah.
Tightrope, Sudden Impact. Not the best, but they're cool to watch. Then he did Pale Rider.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in the 90s he kind of started doing other stuff, not as good. And then he died in 2012.
I thought we did one of his movies before, but I'm not seeing it here. I know. What did he do, like Night Moves or something like that, or something? What was it? Crap.
He did Risky Business.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we saw him last. All right.
Yeah,
So I thought we said his name several times. I was like, we did him before. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's done a lot of good movies.
Oh yeah, Sonia Chernis. Who's that?
No idea. Didn't really find a whole lot out about her.
Yeah.
I mean, just like other credits for writing, like different things.
Born in 1909. Damn.
Yeah.
So what she would have been? So 76. So she would have been what 65? Or,
Yeah.
No. 67.
Yeah.
So she must have been. I don't know.
She died in 1990.
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, she did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how she got writing credits. Like her career on here is listed all over the place, but maybe just nobody did any research on her. So whatever.
Yeah, it seems to be like it's all westerns, but it's like a lot of TV westerns.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she's got 5 writing credits. The first one's in 1947, The Big Fix.
Yep.
And then you got a teleplay in 1953. And then you got 1962, a Rawhide television series story, like just 1 episode. 2 episodes of Mr. Ed.
Yep.
Which she's credited as written by and developer, which I don't know what that means. Like she's developing the film or she developed the plot? What's going on there? And then her last credit is the Outlaw Josey Wales. So.
Oh, okay. She was basically in-house story editor for Malpaso Productions.
Okay, all right.
So she had a job working exclusively with Clint Eastwood's production company after the Josey Wales.
I feel like as soon as when they fired Kaufman, that she was brought in to cut all of Eastwood's dialogue away. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I removed this. Now can I get credit for it?
Yeah, pare this down so I say 5 words the whole movie.
Everybody getting there. So. Cast is Clint Eastwood, Sandra Locke, and Chief Dan George.
Yep. I recognize this guy.
Yeah. What they say he was in Little Bighorn, or yeah, I think so. There's some of the trivia I was looking up, which again I don't know if it's true. It said like Philip Kaufman discovered this guy in another movie. So it's like you can't discover somebody if you saw them in another movie. You discover somebody if you see them in real life. Or like, hey, you should be in movies. That's how you discover people. So.
Well, he's like for me one of the most memorable characters in the movie.
Oh yeah. He has the
Because
most
he's funny, and he's
Yeah, he's weird, funny, and like he's like kind of has all like the heart about it, and like he like is like the person who's like basically acting as the narrator.
yeah.
Explaining what as Clint Eastwood says nothing and silently walks off into the darkness. His character will tell you exactly what's going on. And so it's like Clint Eastwood can look cool, and this guy can be like the heart of the movie, I guess. So we'll get into it. We got Act 1. We get a guy. We'll find it. Well, I didn't want to immediately say, well, this is Josey Wales because he's on the poster. Which is very funny in this movie because it's called The Outlaw Josey Wales. And I don't think he's ever called that, but he's called about 6 other nicknames in this movie.
Yeah.
Because at some point, because he's killing all these Union soldiers, they call him like, what, the Blue Lightning or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And Killer and all his other. He has some other nickname too, like the Gray Rider is another nickname.
Yep.
You think this is the portrayal that the Saint of All Killers from the Preacher comics is based on?
It could be, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess the poster is very prominent. Those two, what do they call those? Cavalry pistols. Those what are those ones? Colt.
What were I have the thing here about the.
Those are cap and ball ones, so you can't just throw another round in those. You have to like reload them in the
Colt Walker 1847s.
Yeah.
But there were some that did have cartridge conversions later.
Oh, okay.
These did not because of the way these just looked really cool.
Yeah.
This is what like Stephen King based the Gunslinger on.
Okay.
A guy with these big guns.
Yes.
That are actually like 9mm handguns are way more effective in these. At the time, they were the most effective weapons.
Yeah, you don't have to sit there and reload. You just click the thing, and the next one comes up. So.
Yeah. And I don't know how you dual wield. That's like tough.
Well, you show him doing it here. It's like he's not shooting any of the pistols at the same time. It's just like as he's cocking the one, he's aiming with the other and shooting. Bam, we're all ready to go. That's how he's doing rapid fire. So he's not doing like a John Woo, like fire them both at the same time as you're jumping backwards and splitting your legs so you don't shoot your feet. So he's not doing any of that stuff.
And I don't know how hard those guns punch. They could be actually easy to dual wield because a lot of those all that black powder stuff is like low power.
Oh, you just meant that the guns are heavy and you don't know how he's dual wielding.
Yeah, they just what do those things weigh? That's like a 2-pound gun, just a lot of metal there.
Yeah.
But those were the movie. That's why every gun in a movie, no matter if it's an automatic, a modern revolver with no hammer, every gun clicks because these guns click all the time around. And everyone remembers that from the Western. Even a Glock will click. It has no safety, no external hammer. It's nothing to click about it unless you really shake it. But yeah, when anyone brings one out in a movie, the Foley people, it's always click. It's always, he's using a Colt 1847. Interesting. That's what a guy looks like in 1911. But yeah.
I mean, because I didn't know because the other famous kind of Western revolver is the single action Army, but that's using cartridges.
Yeah.
But there's also this little thing off to the side, but that's to punch the cartridges out of the cylinder.
Yeah.
Because the cylinder doesn't flip out like modern revolvers.
No.
If that's a phrase you can still use.
Ruger still makes, because I have the Red Hawk, which is the big, huge revolver, and it has a flip out. They also make the Black Hawk, which that does not flip out. You just slide it, punch it out the back. I think it's because it can handle heavier loads. I'm not sure.
Huh. Okay.
44 Magnum was always enough for me. It's like, yeah, this is fine.
Well, yeah. What was the Webley? That one split open like from the.
Yes.
but that was kind of a that was that kind of worked against it, like structural wise. It's like it's not good to have a weak point there so on the frame. So.
That was a British design, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you had to reload it, you were like this, and it's like you were opening up some kind of cooking tool. Time to reload.
But so yeah, the what's the model of this? 18 what?
This is the guns used on the poster and by the hero character for most of the movie because he has like 4 guns on.
Yeah.
But the real big guns are the Colt Walker 1847s.
So those ones also have a little thing on it, but that thing
Yes.
hinges down and that presses your ball in. So you put powder in the chamber and that presses the ball in to compact it.
Yeah, you put the ball and the powder in there, and then you rotate it around, and you take it like this and pull it from the bottom, and it cantilevers and presses it in there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super gun safety because you're holding the barrel like that. And then but it won't fire unless you put the explosive cap on them.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the safety. Because because it's an external firing cap.
But that's basically like essentially like he seems to have more ammo than he should, but but you see at the end of the movie he's got like 4 guns on him for that purpose.
So yeah, he would effectively have 12 shots, and then maybe with all the other guns, like he could fire he would have like 28 shots.
Yeah,
but it's just cool. It's just a move.
Yeah.
He's also a guy who's hitting moving targets with black powder weapons at range. It's like this guy's a total badass. And he's just shooting them with both hands. He's like you said, he's individually targeting them. I've shot like guns like this. Like I've shot a cap and ball Colt before. They are kind of cool. It's sort of weird though. It's all kind of slow motion shooting because we're used to like pow pow pow. With those guns, it's like click, wait, boom. It's not like the kind of guns we use where they like as soon as you break the trigger, that firing pin's detonating that.
Yeah.
No, these things are a little click, boom. It's not like pop,
but it's not like shooting an open bolt gun where there's like you click and then you have to wait for the thing to ka-chunk and then fire because that feels all weird a different way. So
yeah, that's the Uzi style. I've only done that once. It's like okay, this is weird. It's a cool little gun, but it's like, hey, it's open. It's oh no, that's how it fires. It's like really, yeah, okay. Pull the trigger, click, clunk, boom. It's like oh. Yeah. But I guess the secret, like with an Uzi, is it's just built for full auto fire.
Yeah.
Civilians can't get that, so you're out there firing on Uzi like ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It's like, well, this sort of sucks. It's like it doesn't. It's full auto. It's
yeah,
like, oh, that's cool.
I forget the whole thing about. I think with the machine gun, like why that works best is like one having it open is better for the heat control.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much better. But the big thing about it is that the the firing pin is stuck in place. It doesn't move at all.
No.
So
it's a fail point reduced.
yes,
It's just a piece of steel slamming into metal. It doesn't have to have its own spring system.
Yes.
Yeah. Now BARs are like that too. They fire from the open breech.
Okay.
And there's I mean, it's just old style. And the reason the Uzi did that is because it was like, oh, the Mac. I think the Mac 10 is like that also.
Okay.
I believe so. I could be wrong. But I know the Uzi is. But that was just like a way to solve a bunch of manufacturing problems at once. How do we get guns into hands that are effective, cheap, and small? It's like, this is how. Okay. They did it in World War II. Killed plenty of people in World War II. This will be fine. This works.
So yeah, we got Josey Wales, played by Clint Eastwood, and a kid and a horse are out tilling the land. The kid gets called in by his mom, which I'm guessing this is Josey Wales Jr. or something like that, because she says, "Josie, come in here and get cleaned up," and then he doesn't go.
Yeah.
The character we know is Josey Wales, so I'm guessing this kid is also named Josey.
Well, this is kind of like an Unforgiven, where he's like trying to farm, not effectively.
Yeah.
It's like, so it indicates it's like, oh, he wasn't born to this. He's just like didn't have a YouTube tutorial. So it's like this plow behind this horse, and it's just gonna beat the crap out of me because this land sucks. And using this hand or this the plow where the horse is the muscle and I'm the stabilizer to keep it in the ground.
And and then the guy, yeah, so yeah, then the guy goes on tilling. He's a bit more successful now that the kid's gone. Then he hears like a rumbling in the woods, which at first it doesn't sound like horses. It just sounds like either a thunderstorm or like, something from the world beyond or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he sees smoke, and we get shots of horses and people running around. And then we get shots are heard in the distance, and then Josey runs up to his house and it's on fire and it's surrounded by a bunch of guys. And then Josey hears the kid in the house screaming. Also, like, grab his wife and take her away. We never see her again, so she's either just killed or untoward things are happened to her. And then the guys surrounding the house can hear the kid screaming for help, but like they don't help the kid, and they just knock Josey out, and then just let the kid burn to death. So it's
Well, he
like,
gets hit in the face with a sword. And
yeah, but like the pommel of it, right? Yeah.
no, there's a downward slash.
Oh.
The
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's more thematic sense. Okay, that makes all right. I thought he just like hit him with like the pommel of the sword and knocked him out. So
I think that might have happened too.
okay, because he just passes out as the house burns. So
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the Red Legs, and these are like who are these? These are like a regiment of like just skirmishers for the Union.
Civil War history time. Okay, the American Civil War fought from 1861 to 1865. No, these were called the Kansas Redlegs.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever heard of Kansas and the role it played leading up to the Civil War. Have you ever heard of the abolitionist period where they called Bleeding Kansas?
Maybe.
Ever heard of that? Yeah, because what was going on was
I did hear like what is there? I did Kansas fought for the North. That's all I know about it.
Well, what was going on? But this was pre-Civil War.
Yeah.
It was a prelude of murder leading up to that, because there were two states, Kansas Territory, and I forget what the other state was. But the Southerners, especially the pro-slavery people in Missouri, they wanted Kansas to come in as a slave state because the two senators they get from Kansas could turn the tide. And of course, the other people, the anti-slavery, they wanted, what do they call them? The abolitionists. They wanted it to be a no slavery state. So the South was funding families to go into Kansas and like, we're pro-slave. And the abolitionists just kill them.
Oh, okay.
So it was, I don't know how many people died. There's different numbers, but roughly 150 people died.
So when this happening, is the Civil War started yet, or is this part of the period you're talking?
This was during this. The Outlaw Josey was set during the Civil War. The Kansas regiment.
Yeah.
Is because if you know anything about history, this Kansas regiment, like the Redlegs, like supposedly they did the bidding of remember, well, we'll get to it, but the senator in this, senator general that they're talking to later, okay, that guy was a real guy. He was a hardcore abolitionist. He was a senator from Kansas, and supposedly the Redlegs were his mercenaries.
Okay, all right.
I think that actually existed, but remember, this story was written by a guy who was telling it. It's like, no, the rebels were actually heroes. All the Northerners and the Kansas men were just terrible killers.
Yeah.
Who just killed innocent Southern men.
Southern were just noble men trying to get by.
Yeah. Now, in the case of the main character in this, he was just like a dirt farmer in Alabama.
Yeah.
Like, he was not fighting in the war.
We never see a black person in this movie whatsoever. We see Mexicans, we see the plight of the Indians, but like never a black person.
No,
so.
Which is kind of weird, but maybe. Yeah. Well, now that's actually that would be period correct. Only in Texas and out west afterwards would you see a lot of people, because they're like, yeah, we're getting the hell out of here. This didn't work out too good. So, but yeah, actually that would actually make sense, because they were all being held as slaves or being killed by the Confederate Army at that point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the timeline of this is, but this is like, so this would be like Josey Wales probably had his family murdered in, I'd say, 1863.
Okay.
And the bulk of this movie is from 1865 onwards, so the end of the Civil War. I'm guessing there's no like
Yeah.
Josey Whale timeline and map I could follow, but
I mean, this is like the backstory to like almost every Western. It's
Mhm.
like the Civil War just ended, and now we have to head out west. So
Oh, this is why it was the Wild West, because essentially America had fought the most violent war in history, and in terms of numbers of people killed over a compressed time frame, one of the most violent wars ever fought by Europeans and European ancestors. And also, you had a bunch of men. They had a little better medicine back then, so a lot of guys got wounded and did a lot of killing and lived, which was unusual.
yeah,
And then it's like, hey, the war's over. Head out west with your guns and kill your way to the coast. That's what happened. That's why it was the Wild West, because these people, they had it out there. They were used to killing. They're like, cool. Yeah, we know what to do. No surprises here. It's like food, take it. Oh, Indians, Native Americans, women, yeah, it's ours. There were just people that had any morality had been burned out of them, just fighting those horrible Civil War battles where you're just marching in line and shooting from trenches and just watching everyone get blown to bits. It's like, yeah, you come out of that a psycho, and that's why it was the Wild West instead of like the noble, gentle westward expansion. Because you always had psychopaths on the borders of America, but you created a lot of new ones with the Civil War, especially people running from the South that are like, yep, that life's over. Time for something new.
So yeah, Josey gets knocked out. Yeah, and gets a slash on his face, which we'll see for the rest of the movie. Because it's like, oh yeah, he's got a scar on his face. I didn't realize it was from this moment.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's the downward slash of a curved cavalry sword.
because they do a thing where they have the slash go down, and like the bit where the scar goes on, where like his beard would be, it's like there's missing hair there. So because like it doesn't grow back, it's a scar now. So. The house is burnt down. Josey digs a grave for the kid, buries him, and puts up a makeshift cross where it's basically just a belt and two pieces of sticks.
He digs two graves.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, there are two. I remember.
Yeah. Did they kill his wife and they
Yeah,
just didn't show him dragging his?
Yeah.
But they didn't show him.
Sure, they did other things first that the
Yeah.
movie didn't.
Yeah, but he digs two graves, but he only puts up one cross.
Oh, I thought it was like a cross between the two of them.
Oh, okay, all right.
Maybe, I'm not sure. He was in a fragile state of mind.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Because this is one of the first movies I remember where they actually show like, oh, not only is he angry about this, but he has moments where he loses his mind.
Yeah.
Like he has like PTSD, like he remembers what's going on. He kind of freaks out, but sadly, it doesn't happen during violence. It happens like in quiet moments.
Yeah.
It's like, the killing's done. You can relax. And he's like thinking about his victim. It happens like 4 times in the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
did you ever do this in movies before? I don't remember. Not Westerns.
No, yeah, not Westerns, yeah.
Maybe war movies.
Westerns are always mythical. I mean, yeah, like, because you see him cry here, which that would not be in a normal Western. Like,
Yeah,
you don't. That's for the that's for the pansy salesmen to do. Yeah, he says a prayer and then breaks down crying. Then Josey grabs a gun out of the torched house, which it's fine.
Yeah.
And he says some target practice, but I can't even remember if he's doing well or not. I feel like
not at first.
Okay.
He's shooting like I do at first, because it's like boom, 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 and then nothing hits the wood. But then as time goes on, it does a montage, and pretty soon every pull of the trigger, there's just holes appearing in the wood.
All right.
And he's doing it in an appropriate range of about 10 feet, which would be like a 36 caliber cap and ball gun. That's about the limit of because I don't believe those had rifled barrels. So yeah, they're just throwing lead, literally.
Josey sits by the grave as a group of guys approach him. The guy introduces himself as Anderson Bloody Bill.
Good guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's weird because like you introduce him here and he kind of dies in a montage and then he's gone. So. Then they talk about a gang called Red Legs was with the Union. It says they're heading their way to set things right, and then Josey's like, "Well, I reckon I'll be coming with you." So, And then we have opening credits over cowboys popping off shots, which is like I didn't know who was who, so it's like a disparate like it's this Josey Wales like group, and then it's also the Redlegs. It's a cross between them, like shooting and burning down things. Um,
Yeah, I was trying to look up what these guys would be called in the parlance of their time, because you had the actual army,
yeah,
then you had what they called, there was either pro-Union or pro-Confederate paramilitaries,
yeah.
which were like kind of loosely affiliated. Like they had
Would
military.
these guys just be a militia or what?
The Confederate guys, they were called bushwhackers,
Okay.
which essentially meant they fought from the woods. They used guerrilla tactics. So yeah, they would
Okay.
be the militia, whereas the Redlegs would be like specific purpose soldiers, but in an irregular chain of command. Like they kind of went and did their own thing.
Okay.
Like for instance, in this movie, the Redlegs fought for Senator General Jim Lane. It's like, because back then, remember, you could buy a commission in the army if you had enough money.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons the North had such terrible leadership at the end of the war. It's like, I always wanted to be a colonel. Here's $500. Here you go, colonel. Lead men into battle. And as soon as people start exploding, it's like, oh, let's get the hell out of here. This is awful. Yeah, they had a lot of there was a lot of problems. They'd sorted that out as time went on, but yeah.
Then we get intercuts of shots of the Civil War, like actual armies and like artillery cannons and stuff like that.
Blue versus gray type.
Yeah. Which you don't like. I don't know what to take at first. Like, are these guys fighting each other, or is this just showing like what's in the meantime? This is the actual armies are fighting each other. So,
well, no, the Confederate tactics were a little frightening because they would use a combination of like formation, main army movements, and then send in bushwhackers to like soften up the Union army, which was advancing on them, and force them to redirect. It's like, oh, they're attacking us from this way, and then the Confederate army would sweep in and kind of flank them. Like that did happen a lot in some of the stuff I read. So.
Okay.
So yeah, the Confederate bushwhackers, these guys would have had a lot of experience, and also that's a very dangerous way to fight because they tended to just like, if they caught you, we're just hanging you. You're not fighting fair. We're just going to shoot you. So, yeah, that was. They were very effective at doing that, but there were a lot of people in the Union Army that were very effective at doing that towards the end too.
Let me see.
Mainly using like large maneuver tactics and like they had supply lines and stuff, so they could advance. Whereas the Confederacy was just a broken force that had to continuously retreat, and then you find out the stuff that happened like at Andersonville. It's like, man, that's a nightmare. Can't believe humans did that to other humans.
Yeah, I mean that's like, is that the thing about like Sherman's March? It's like we're just gonna burn everything. We have the supplies
to the sea. Yeah, bow ties, where they would have men pull up the Confederate rail tracks and heat them up in the center, and then when they got red hot, they'd tie them around the trees like bow ties, which like took hundreds of men to lift up sections of railroad tracks and heat it completely. Like people starved to death because he did that. It was crazy. But he basically said, it's like, well, you either surrender or I'm marching to the sea and I will leave nothing in my wake. And they're like, oh, we're going to fight you. Okay.
We have an intercut here of just like we cut to the scene and Josey brings Bill some water as he lays in pain by like in a creek.
Yeah,
and that's his death. So then we get more.
That's a theme in this movie and in a lot of westerns. Are you gut shot? You got about an hour because it's literally like there's nothing they can do.
Then we get more intercuts of the Civil War. So that being the end of Act 1, we got Act 2. We get Fletcher, played by John Vernon, which I know him as like he's like the dean in Animal House, right? That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking, I was like, I know that guy.
He's a great character actor.
He comes in with news says that if they swear allegiance to the United States, they'll receive amnesty. So Fletcher says he's going for it, and then a young man named Jamie says Josey's name inquisitively. It's like, hey, should we go do that? And then Josey just says, you better go with him. And then Fletcher tries to reason with Josey, but just wishes him luck as he refuses the amnesty because he's just out for revenge. So
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to like go back to.
yeah.
All he has is hate.
And we do like they. There's kind of like this like pudgy faced guy from the Red Legs that we like cut to a bunch, and that's who he has like seared in his mind, which we'll find out it's Captain Terrell or something like that. So
Played by Bill McKinney.
who's that?
Oh, he was in the Deliverance.
Okay.
I forget which character he played, but that was the one.
Okay, because I feel like I didn't recognize him, so that's why I didn't bother to put his name down. So.
It's in the Parallax View. He was the assassin.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm trying to think of what he is most known for. I actually don't know. I just know in a lot of the movies we watched from the 70s and 80s he showed up in.
Okay.
He was in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. He was the guy with all the rabbits in the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I worked with Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
Josey watches from afar as the guys turn themselves over and their rifles, which is we have Jamie here be like, "There's some friction." He's like, "Well, I need that for hunting." And he's just throw it on the table. We don't care. And then the guy like, they're like the union the union guys here are being like weirdly capitulatory. Like it's like they're combative, but then they're like nice about it. It's like, come on. It's
Yeah.
like Fletcher's brought before like the senator and some other people, and then he sees that a red leg is one of the officials, which is Captain Terrell, and he's furious about this. And the senator sends Captain Terrell and 5 men to go get Josey Wales. Then the senator tries to pay Fletcher to go after Josey. He refuses. They're making people pledge allegiance and then just gun them down. So
Yes, using a Civil War era hand crank Gatling gun. I guess the one they used in this movie was anachronistic because this came out 6 years after the end of the Civil War.
Okay.
They did use Gatling guns in the Civil War. They just weren't this caliber.
Okay.
Didn't work because they had Gatling guns for a long time, but the U.S. Army was slow to adopt them because they're very expensive.
Yeah.
But they could see some action.
Huh.
And was it in Andersonville? I don't know. They were used towards the end of the war.
I got like 3 of them here.
Those are the one they shot in the movie would be in that old government 45-70 caliber.
Okay.
Long bullets. Yeah.
But yeah, just before they start shooting him, they like the guys see like Josey like riding down, so he must have just intuition about what they're gonna do here. We just so weird.
Looking through a scope.
Yeah.
He's got like the old captain's
spyglass,
and he sees the guys in the wagons.
Well, yeah, they have the wagon. You see, like it's kind of weird because you know it's gonna happen because they show off the gun, but then they have like a rifle kind of like recede into the what do you call that? It's just, the wagon, and it's like that doesn't necessarily mean they're about to shoot him, but we know from just movie editing that that's what's gonna happen. So I don't know, but what doesn't make sense to me, it's like, why is the guy grabbing a rifle if he's gonna shoot everybody with a Gatling gun that's clearly hidden? So it just but that's really just to tell the audience about what's gonna happen. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I got something very wrong that was important. Josey Wales was a Missouri farmer, not an Alabama farmer.
Oh, okay.
Missouri farmer.
Yeah, there's much tale of Missouri in this movie. Yeah, which they mentioned. Yeah, they talk about Kansas being Jayhawkers. Like, is that? I know it's like the college is called the Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah.
But like, is that? Was the college around then, or are they called Jayhawks for other reasons? Because the people from Indiana are also called Hoosiers, so like that's what. So I'm associating sports teams and the people in the movie here, so I don't know.
Now Jayhawkers and Redlegs were those were the people that were killing the pro-slavery people.
Okay.
In the Bleeding Kansas era.
Okay.
So yeah, and then later because they won. Yeah, now that's like a term synonymous with people in Kansas, but essentially it's like, yeah, they were just murderers. But they were murderers for a good cause. So that's what happens when you win the war. See, don't ever lose the war.
Although the Civil War seems to be the weird version where the losers write history, so, or have way too much influence to try to rewrite history.
Yeah, there's all kinds of. There's actually not, as far as the actual battles, like there's people that are just all over that. So there's not retconning that. What they do try to retcon now are like the people's like thoughts and ideas and what they were fighting for and
Yeah,
what it really meant on a deeper level. And it's like they wanted to keep slaves. It's like, no, it was more than that. It's like, well, that was the big issue. I mean, was it a trade dispute? Was like corn too high or what? Besides the whole giant slavery issue, what else was going on? And it's like our way of life was being endangered. Like, right, enslaving other people. Okay, cool. I got you. You don't understand, you Yankees. Okay, take your word for it.
So they see Josey like ride down just before they all start getting shot. And then Josey rides in and starts shooting people, which is just suicide. He's literally trying to fight like a platoon of soldiers by himself. But he doesn't care. So, he takes over the minigun and just starts gunning down everybody. He even shoots towards Fletcher, but he doesn't know he's there.
Yeah. You think when he set that ambush up, he'd be like, "Make sure the guns are firing completely away from the camp. Let's not fire into the camp in any way."
There's also like another minigun that they shoot at, or somebody's shooting at, and it gets blown up, and he's not in there. Which I think I was just confused by the editing. It seemed like they were insinuating he was in there. It's like, oh no, he got shot, but it's like, no, it's just another minigun with a different dude getting shot. So it's like, oh, that's kind of confusing, but whatever. See. Yeah, so Jamie gets away. He goes up to Fletcher. He's still like in the center, and everybody that's like ducked the minigun getting shot off. Or not minigun, the Gatling gun.
Yeah, this isn't quite that rate of fire. Click, 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 click. But it still would have been devastating and frightening to men who had previously fired guns that took a minute to load. That's a scary gun.
Jamie warns Fletcher and then gets shot in the back by Terrell. Jamie goes to warn Josey to get out of there. He says he can't kill them all. And then the rest of the soldiers like take the Gatling gun, but Josey and Jamie are gone by then. So I guess Josey listened to reason. You know what? He also sees that Jamie's wounded. And it's like, you stupid kid. Because it's weird. Because like when he first gets shot in the back, he acts kind of woozy, and it's like, well, it's only going to get worse from there. But here he's like, I'm fine, let's go. Just I guess the adrenaline kicked in or something. So
got my second win.
And then the senator says he's going to give Fletcher a commission to go after Josey, which he like refused the money first, but now he's like going in with it. So it's weird. It's like, well, they're probably going to kill me if I don't take this position. So I guess he's just surviving here. But because like, it's weird. It's like, it's like we know Fletcher to be at least a good person towards Josey, so it seems kind of weird here. It's like, we can't really be betraying him here, or this is just a survival mechanism. I don't know what we're supposed to pick out of this. So
yeah, it's kind of a weird, because you wonder, it's like, did he know they were going to do this? Yeah. But he seems like, no, he's like, they had to disarm him and stop him from like moving once the shooting started. And so then maybe he's made the choice. It's like, I can do damage later if I just don't, I just don't die with my boots on right now. It's like, I can screw these guys over later, which he did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's kind of you're a little ambiguous about, is he a good guy or a bad guy or just a survivor? Is it, what's he doing at this point?
Because then like later there's a line where he says, I don't want to hear Josey Wales dead. I want to see him dead, which it's like, does he mean that? Is that performative? And like, I guess that just makes his character more interesting, I guess. So
yeah. Well, because when he shows up later, it's like, whose side is he on?
Yeah.
And so that makes it cool. It was like a great it's like it all tied together.
Yeah. Um. So then we cut to Jamie and Josey are making their way to like get rested and get fixed up. And then Josey hears riders off in the distance, and like he never seen this before. He lays their horses down and they like lay on the necks of the horses to basically like look like they're dead, but basically to like duck a horizon so they could be less harder to be seen or something.
And he like told him how to do it with his horse. Just like grab his head, force it into the ground. It's like it's crazy. That horse can tear the hell out of it. I guess if you're used to dealing with horses.
So they do some horse stealth here, and the guys just ride by and they don't see him. So, which yeah, I guess if you're on a horse, you're basically like 7 feet tall out there, so get on the ground, it'd be harder to see. So, and then we cut to like we have he's listed as carpetbagger, which I forget what that term is. Are these just like bad salesmen? I thought that was like landowners like screwing people over. I can't remember what
carpetbaggers were. Essentially became the pejorative statement of people that northerners that came down to the Reconstruction era South, and they had giant bags that were basically made out of carpet, and they were always selling you bridges that didn't exist, or just swindlers.
Okay.
They were there to steal the money of the South or whatever. Some of them were.
Yeah.
But some of them was just a pejorative term for like any Yankee that's like, we lost the war, we don't like you guys. You think you're smarter than us, and then you proved it, and we hate you.
He's an elixir salesman, which is kind of like, which the term snake oil salesman is something that's often used. But then if you look in the history of that, like snake oil was actually like a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
Where like it would cause like an autoimmune response because of the snake, not venom, but like whatever kind of stuff, and maybe venom or whatever. And then people would sell things telling you it was snake oil, and it wasn't. It was just a sham. but there was a legitimate thing at the time called snake oil that was an elixir that worked. So, which I was like, oh, I thought they're just like, I thought when people said snake oil, they just made it sound, mysterious. Like, oh yeah, that'll work, because like remedies at this time could be anything. So like whatever, like so.
Yeah, I mean, elixirs, from what I understand, were basically, it was like, just like high proof liquor, with like herbs and stuff mixed into them, and it's like technically they weren't lying. It's like it'll make you feel better. It's like drinking booze if you're in pain, but wears off. Yeah. It's like you're saying it's like a cure.
Cure-all is also another thing you call stuff like this.
But we're getting back into this era of DIY medicine.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have modern versions.
Now that the Tylenol is giving us autism.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They talk to Granny and they get supplies from her, and she's like on their side, and she talks about the soldiers are basically spreading rumors about him, which she doesn't believe. So then she's like, hey, pay me next time you come through, which she just knows they're never going to be back. So it's like,
she just wants to help someone that's fighting the North.
They take the ferry across, which here a ferry is just like a plank of wood that can fit things on it, and there's literally a rope stretched across this river. And they just pull, and literal human people pull on the rope to make the ferry go across. So. Yeah,
it's like a rope with some like a cam system for it to ride through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically just like, I think the guy was actually like mentally disabled that was helping the main ferryman.
So yeah, they take the ferry across.
He's a real sleaze.
Yeah,
because he's always like, oh, I know how to sing all the songs, because he was singing
was it Whistling Dixie or whatever? And
it's like because he would vacillate between that and the Battle Hymn of the Republic, because it uses the same music but different words.
Yeah, so it's like whatever Allegiant pops up there, he'll have a song for them. So
because like the Battle Hymn of the Republic, it's like, my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. and it's all kind, glory, glory, hallelujah. It's just something to get men to go shoot each other. And I believe like Dixie is a little more wistful in a way. You can tell I bet you a sad Irish guy wrote. It's like the chorus is "Look away, Dixieland. I wish I was in Dixie," and something like instead of here dying. It's a little like Battle Hymn of the Republic is way more like something the British would do.
Yeah.
Glory of murder and battle.
So yeah, Josey and Jamie take the ferry across, and then they see the soldiers like sent after him, or like are waiting for the ferry to come back. And we see like the ferry guy like kind of switch songs in the middle of the way because they're like, "I'll hold them up for you," and they're like, and then Jamie's like, "I don't think they're gonna do that." It's like,
Yeah, because
no,
as fast as they can.
Here's a payday, man. We gotta get.
This is a cool scene in the movie because I forgot, like, because Josey Wales is kind of like, this is the anti-hero kind of guy, or at least the not the fun hero guy, and he pulls out essentially it's a Sharps sniper rifle,
Yeah.
but it has this barrel-length brass scope on it. It's like, is he gonna shoot the ferryman? I forgot where this movie went. It's like, is he just gonna shoot those guys, which would be like the most efficient thing to do, but it's like, no, he's not gonna do that because the snake oil salesman is also, or the elixir man is on his side too. Because remember, this is where Josey Wales establishes where he spits tobacco at people.
Yeah. Well, no, he seems
animals and people.
Yeah, he hates the dog for some reason, which is weird.
The dog seems to like him, but he's always spitting on its head.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the one time where like the lady's like sweeping up the house and he like swallows the chew rather than spits it on the ground. It's like, all right, I'll grant you this one thing. So.
And she was yelling at him earlier in the town. Were you raised in a barn? Just kind of looks at her.
I mean, it's a very negative character trait. He just seems like an asshole every time he spits shoes. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, and people you killed, I kind of get it, but it's like it's because everyone he killed was a bad guy. But the dog, leave the dog alone.
And just like a beetle for some reason.
Yeah, he doesn't like bugs or dogs or carpetbaggers. Yeah, the elixir guy has a white suit, and he was telling him, he's like, it's just $1, it cures everything, and he spits on his white suit. Does it get tobacco stains out? Just real. Oh yeah, you always want to be that hard ass, but in real life, people would just go crazy if you did that stuff.
We have Fletcher and Terrell are talking to each other, and Terrell says Texas is full of rebels, lots of work to do down in Texas, and like I forget, and then Fletcher kind of rebukes this, and then Terrell goes like, "Doing right ain't got no end."
Texas, the most regrettable thing was being part of the Confederacy. They had nothing in common with the rest of the South.
Oh, okay.
They were not, because there was no slavery in Texas, because you weren't growing crops there. You were fighting Mexico.
Okay, yeah.
It's like they just joined the Confederacy because they thought they could get a better deal. They didn't care. As a matter of fact, in Texas, they thought people that owned slaves were rich. They're like, we don't care about that. We support slaves. But they joined anyway because they thought they'd get a better deal.
Oh, okay.
That's why they really have to. There wasn't a lot of battles in Texas either.
Oh, okay.
Around the Civil War, the places that really got screwed were like Missouri and I forget. There was a bunch of the other southern states, but yeah, Texas was like a reluctant, like, I guess we'll go with these guys.
So you think Josey's gonna run? It's like, well, they got a head start on him, but he's like, yeah, they're gonna catch us in like 4 hours, and so he just waits, which confuses Jamie and also me. It's like, what are they gonna do? There's a bit where it's like, you see him grab the rifle, and he's like, is he just gonna shoot them all or anything? And then you see him, he just takes one shot, shoots the rope, and then the ferry just drifts away downstream. It's like, okay, yeah, one shot.
Well, yeah, because the guy, the elixir guy, is like, what are you gonna do? Shoot him? And he's like, no, Mr. Carpetbagger, we got something around here called the Missouri Boat Ride. He just one shots the rope, and the barge just starts moving down the river. It's like, yeah, that was actually that was just as effective, and you didn't have to indiscriminately murder people. So that was good.
Yeah, and like the ferry raft thing kind of like rocks back and forth as like the horses, and a
Well,
couple
one of
of
the
horses
horses falls off.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares about horse death in this movie. Horses are dead everywhere.
Yeah. No horse gets a name. You don't have like, I don't even know like if it's this. I don't even know how many horses Josey has, or if it's the same horse through the whole movie. I have no idea.
I think he does have the same one because it's got like after its like knees, it's white,
Okay.
and it also looks larger than the rest of the horses. So.
Okay.
Because there's a couple times people are like, "That's a nice horse, Mister," and he just looks at him and walks
Spits
away.
him in the face.
I didn't do that.
Josey tends to Jamie's wounds. Jamie is scared of dying, which here he just puts some weird muck on him and like needs to put some bandages on him. A couple of bounty hunters show up and get the drop on Josey and hold him up. Jamie starts making a fuss, which he's playing off like he's in fever dreams here or whatever. But then you start to clue in on when he starts talking about like the gold that me and Mr. Josey got or whatever. Then you realize like, oh, this is a ruse by him. And then Jamie shoots one guy and then Josey shoots the other, which they call another guy's like, hey, come forward. And that guy never shows up. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was waiting for that guy to show
or
up.
they just never had another guy. I don't know if that was a ruse.
They were like bullshitting him. It's like, we got a sniper out there. I'm gonna call him in now.
But you can see that like word is traveling fast, which you have to imagine at this time that would be kind of hard to do. But like it's getting ahead of them that he's wanted. So
well, because there's this huge bounty on him.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like 20 minutes ago he was just a guy, and now he's like being.
Well, when you kill 30 Confederate soldiers.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
People are like on that like, yeah, there's big money.
So they get Jamie up on a horse. I love this line. He says, "I ain't hauling you all over hell's creation." So it's like, this isn't God's green land. This is hell's creation.
Right.
I think also like because I think Jamie says something like, "Should we bury them or something or hide the bodies?" And like, the hell with them fellows. Buzzards got to eat, same as the worms.
I did like that.
They ride off in the night. Josey gets Jamie set up in a tent as the rain is pouring down, which this looks really good. It's like dusk and rain. I don't know. I don't know if they like came across this or made this happen, but it looks really nice. And then Josey goes to check on like his pursuers, which I forget they have like a name, like I don't know, like enforcers or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he comes back. He literally like basically just like takes 2 steps one direction. It's like there they are. Takes 2 steps back, and then Jamie's just dead. So it's unceremoniously. So, but he also said he wasn't afraid of dying anymore. So that's that's the death knell. It's like it's okay. So, which he got shot like the back. So he's like, I don't know. Like that wouldn't be a heart shot, but maybe some lung stuff. I don't know. But basically, he's dying from infection and fever, right? So
yeah, essentially, or internal bleeding.
Because like they didn't get any kind of like gauze and stuff like that to stop the bleeding until like way later. So
yeah, they weren't treating that wound.
So now they're just dealing with infection and then fever. So
yeah, they were treating it with like the stuff, like those poultices they made up that treats like external infection. Once it gets inside your body, they had nothing back then they could really do.
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to stop a cut from getting infection was to hold a hot knife against it. That did kill everything, including your skin. But you wouldn't get, like, yeah, you could cut your finger and die back then. Our horses were just shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
There was shit literally all over the place. But it's like, oh, well, you're screwed.
Then we cut to, oh, wait, no. He puts Jamie on a horse and he sends it off to the soldiers' camp and rides away. Which this ends up being
tell him he's like, they'll give you a better funeral than I could.
Yeah, which they do that. So, or at least they bury him.
Yeah, they buried him. Yeah, because the worms and the buzzards aren't going to get him. Well, the worms will get him. The buzzards.
Then we cut to an Indian guy stalks some noise in the distance, and then he finds the horse, but there's nobody on it. And then Josey gets a drop on him, which is like an interesting scene. So. It's just fun to have a character that's just knows things. like the character has the same like awareness as the audience, seemingly.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like, hey, there's a guy in the woods. Like, I'm really glad I watched this movie. I'm gonna sneak up
Yeah. What time us up to this tree and circle around
on.
and not make a noise in the worst footwear you've ever imagined.
Yeah, and fall or whatever.
Yeah, break your ankle. Yeah, it's what they called shoes back then were a death sentence.
So he gets a drop on the Indian guy. Josey talks with the guy and then tells of the trial of tears and being moved here to the nations, which is like, where is this at? It's just like, it's west or somewhere around Texas.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because because they're moving down because Comanche territory was, I believe, like down south towards the border.
Okay.
So that's where they're heading into. I'm not sure what group Dan George was with, or I'm sorry, his character's name was Lone Waddy in this.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what group he was affiliated with.
But he says, well, no, he says no, did I write that down? He says what tribe he is with. I forget if I wrote that down or not. Crap.
Navajo.
Okay, is it Navajo?
I think so.
No, because like the
woman's Navajo.
Yeah, she was Navajo and she was like captured by Comanche.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's captured by Cheyenne. I wrote that down. So
yeah.
maybe he's Comanche? I can't remember. Oh well. Yeah, his name's but his family died in the move, which I've never read Trail of Tears. I've heard it's like it's one of the most brutal books you can ever read.
It's the Bataan Death March in North America.
Yeah,
they weren't kidding. It's not good. And they signed a treaty to like, yeah, we'll do this, and then they just lied to him. That's why he says, well, when your Civil War started, we decided to go to war with the people we signed that treaty with because they screwed us. It's like, yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, his name's Lone Waddy, and then he tells a story of being like brought before like the Secretary of the Interior.
Yeah,
and then like they're saying like, hey, here's all the problems we have, and he just says, endeavor to persevere.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, well, we should probably take up arms against this guy. He's an asshole.
This seems like what we are.
And well, also like while this guy's telling this like heart-wrenching story of like betrayal and like the loss of like identity, Josey takes a nap.
Falls asleep. You hear him start snoring, and Lone Waddy just shakes his head.
Then we got to Terrell gets thrown off by Josey's ruse with Jamie and the horse because you think he's heading the other direction, but he's like, and Fletcher's like, no, he's going the other way. So, which is just classic stuff of like having the bad guys be morons, and like the one guy you like amongst the bad guys is like, no, he's doing this because he like respects him or whatever. So, but that was also a classic thing in like almost all these movies where it's like the Southerners had this this omniscient like sense of direction with like nature and like how it worked and how people operate and like tracking and all that stuff, and everybody from the north like was just like complete morons who couldn't
just
do
like
anything.
all city people. Like at that age, I think 99% of people were self-employed. Most of them were farmers or tradesmen on a farm, or something related to getting the food in so we don't starve to death. Everyone was pretty capable.
Yeah, these are the guys that made machines to farm rather than enslaving people. So.
Everyone knew how to use weapons. Might have killed somebody at some point. Yeah, no one was. Men back then would be like just hard as nails today. Like the craziest New Yorker you'd meet from then, if you brought them to forward to this time, everyone like, that guy's a real hard ass. He killed his own dog because it was sick. Like the things that passed as normal back then were crazy by today's standards.
Let me cut to Lone Waddy has burned his Abraham Lincoln clothes.
Yeah.
And he sets a horn-toed lizard in front of Josey to like choose his way or something like that. And he's just kind of weirded out by it. Although he doesn't
up and looks at it. Like,
yeah, he doesn't spit any chew on it, but I guess you probably won't have a chew in while he's sleeping. So
yeah.
Waddy says he's going to Mexico, and then Josey says he has some unfinished business in Missouri. Then we cut to Josey gets up to a shady shop, which is, what do you call this? A trading post?
Yeah.
Which then there's a couple of guys there just sexually assaulting the shop lady,
Yes.
who's an Indian. And then the shopkeep doesn't do anything about it because he thinks, well, those guys will kill me and they got money, so I need to like. And he also ripped off some Indians that are like bringing him pelts of stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Well, see, she came out with the whiskey
Yeah,
in the bottles, and she like stumbled, and one of the bottles broke.
yeah,
So then he grabs the other bottle and gives it to him, and then just proceeds to like beat on her with a log or something.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, this is a nice guy."
Well, also he says like, no, you're not bringing enough. I want, what is it? It's like beaver pelts aren't good enough. He wants a different, like, I can't remember the other animal he was looking for, like
Yeah,
ferret pelt or something like that. But he takes all this guy's stuff and like, here's 2 bottles of whiskey and some red cloth. And so he makes a trade anyways, where it seemed like he wasn't going to take anything for trade. So he presumably ripped these guys off to hopefully rip them off even more later. So yeah, those guys are doing terrible business in the corner. Josey just kind of stands by, and he's like, oh, he's like, well, that's not. Well, he's not making judgments. He's not saying things out loud. He just kind of walks around them and kind of weirds them out. And then this guy and then one of the guys like stops and like he goes to get like the chew bucket to like hide him pulling out a pistol. This is all weird. I don't know what he's doing at first, but it's like, okay, I guess he's trying to be like have a ruse going on here. And then this guy. And then both the guys get up to like hold him up as like he says like, oh, you're Josey Wales. And he tells him to take out his pistols like butt first. So he's like holding him by the barrel and holding them out to him, and he just kind of like flips them around in his hand, shoots the guy and shoots the other guy. Which the editing is kind of weird here because I thought like they were in different corners, but the how it works here is they were like both in front of him at the same time. So
yeah, yeah. The gun flip was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was neat. Yeah, because they do have they do have him do some gunslinger stuff here, but really it's not it's not because he's the fastest draw. He just reads situations quicker than most people. So
yeah, he's like 3 moves ahead. Like,
yeah.
He's not like, I'm surprised, but I have lightning reflexes. Like, no, he's just plotting it out. People are just going to appear and scream, and he will shoot them. Oh, by the way, just as a note, $5,000 back then would be worth $102,000. So yeah, these people might take risks, a lot of risks.
Well, she keeps kind of getting left alive because carrying a dead person around is just a bigger hassle. So that's why that's not why people are immediately trying to kill him.
Yeah. Well, because you could bring any corpse in and be like, this is him. But if you bring in a living person, it's like, we can torture him and find out who he is. You know, that's another thing too. But yeah, carrying a corpse around the hot desert for days would be next to hell.
Because you do see like those pictures of wanted posters like wanted dead or alive. Yeah. So, but usually it's like if they were dead, you get less money, right? And so
yeah. Well, it just couldn't be verified. Like I said, you couldn't wring the information out of a corpse. They weren't doing fingerprinting and DNA then. Be like, no, this is Josey Wales. It's like, oh, he doesn't even look the same. Why had to shoot his teeth out? It's like you could, and like I said, then these bodies are going to bloat and decay very quickly. So yeah, usually they've been alive.
There's one guy that's still kind of alive, or at least he's kind of writhing, and he just spits on his face and takes their horses. So, then we cut to Josey watches the soldiers ride by. Then Waddy holds up Josey, and then Moonlight, who's the girl from the trading post, holds up Waddy. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing because Waddy's like, I told you only an Indian could sneak up on me, and he like spits on the ground. He's like, I know, and then you hear her cock. Like he already had that figured out. Yeah.
She was Navajo, but then she was captured by Cheyenne, and then like basically sexually assaulted as well. And she has like this cut in her nose, which that's supposed to be like, basically like.
I mean, she's like she's promiscuous.
Yeah.
But she was not that she actually
forced into promiscuous.
So. She was judged promiscuous for not fighting hard enough against the group of men that were raping her. It's okay, this sounds sad. I'm glad this is the same across every culture.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is definitely like I don't want to live in this era when you people romanticize the West and stuff like that, like noble men of great stature, like using their skills. It's like no, it's a bunch of bunch of yeah.
I mean, it's people that went into it with the best intentions, but yeah, they end up coming out of it if they're alive, like crazy, bury half of their family members along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, because I remember when we read Lonesome Dove, and I think maybe just by the title alone, it seems soft, and it's like, oh, this is one of those just idyllic, like westerns, love stories things. You read, it's like this is horrifying. It's, um, the three set up camp at night. Um, Wadi is translating what she's saying, and he says something like said like she says like she belongs to you now, and he says like you tell her I don't want no one belonging to me. So
that's what led to all this trouble in the first place.
Yeah.
The people that they weren't supposed to have them.
No, none of that commentary is given, but
No,
it's like
that doesn't get in. It would be interesting.
yeah. Yeah, because yeah, because it's like, well, he's from the South, and he's like, fighting for the South, so he must be like this hardcore racist who like hates people, and then like he ends up with this like weird cavalcade of people at the end of the movie. It's like, I guess he's just a guy, and that's the story that Eastwood wanted to tell. So, Kaufman would be more interested in like,
I think that's what he wanted. Yeah, he wanted just a simple story.
Yeah.
About a man just against other men.
Yeah.
But also finding his humanity in a way he never thought he would.
Yeah.
Which is like it's really powerful too. I mean,
Yeah.
that also works. It's weird, like morality reminiscence. It's like no, that these people are barely staying away, starving to death. They're not.
Yeah,
I mean, thoughts.
I mean, effectively, like some of the most important scenes are where he is like emotional, like crying at the the grave of his child, getting kind of emotional when Jamie is hurt, and like he's just like, hey, tell him to shut up. It's like he's doing that because he cares, and then going to like 10 Bears and being like, I'm a killer, right? So trust my life pledge. He's like, okay, we can do that. It's like, why if this guy's just a badass killer, why would you ever why would they do that? Like that's a sign of weakness. Why does he just kill him? So, but it's like a anyways, yeah, that's just important, different for like a Western character to have like these kind of moments of capitulation, and like it's not just an immortal badass who can kills his way to solution. So, let's see here. Yeah, in the morning. Yeah. I think he also mentions how he doesn't like the dog. Which it seemed like there was two dogs in the scene, but I guess there's just one dog. So I don't know. Because this might be where he first spits on one of the dogs. Or there's just one dog. He spits on it all the time. We cut to it's the morning. The three and the dog ride off in the town. Which the dog's just like off prancing around the horses as they're riding. So just having a fun time. They're in Texas now. We see the carpetbagger is selling elixir in the town. Josey talks to a shopkeep. And the shopkeep is talking about like hey, the Josey Wales character coming their way. And it's like, that's interesting. So, but then as he walks outside, the carpetbagger sells him out. Which also, this is the thing I don't understand. Like, it takes like a massive amount of food to feed a horse, right?
I think so.
So like. Yeah, like what are the economics behind that? Like how much like hay do you need, and like how many often do they need to eat? And stuff.
I don't know anything about the economy of horses. I know it does take a massive amount of grain, and I know there's some things you can feed them when they're in a stable situation, but then you don't want to feed them that when they're moving because it'll screw their stomachs up.
Okay.
So I know, but yeah, but there's like bags of grain you buy, and then they can just graze on stuff because they
Because
are herbivores.
well, yeah, but this is always like depicted in like these movies that like all these like noble cowboys are like poor because you can
Yeah,
relate to poor people, but then they have a horse and it's like, well, how does the poor noble horseman or cowboy feed his horse?
I don't know. There was no communism then.
um, but I guess they're animals. They can go, yeah, like you said, just go graze in a field somewhere. So,
I mean, in this movie, they do talk about needing a bunch sacks of grain for the horses.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's mentioned, but you never see them like eat or any. But then again, that gets into that like technical minutia about. It's like, yeah, this is cool, but
But also, like, he goes to shopkeep here, and he seems like he buys a bunch of stuff. So,
yeah, oh, yeah.
it's all wrapped up and tied up in little things, so it's kind of neat.
I mean, let's see here. In the American Civil War, anywhere from 1 to 3% of the people actually fought in combat. But however, over 20% of the population on both sides was involved in the massive logistical supply lines to feed horses and guns.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it took giant. Some people were drafted into the army that all they did was like shovel hay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, very few actual combatants, but a lot of people who like wore a uniform and just fed
Okay.
these
Yeah,
army.
this is why the North won. They just supply better.
Yeah, yeah, because I was just looking that up. Like, what is fighting in the Union Army like? It's like most people were in logistical support. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because what they say, army marches on its stomach.
Yeah,
So
and especially an army where it's men and like there's other animals, much larger animals involved. That yeah, because now it's just men and machines,
yeah,
and machines that get horrible gas mileage. They get horrible mileage.
yeah, because they're meant to be supported. They're not meant to be like apocalypse vehicles. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the old apocalypse tank is my favorite concept. It's like, no, you're not. You're feeding it too much. But it's all imagined. That's why Mad Max is cool.
Yeah, I was trying.
They actually made a little more sense in Fury Road. It's like, oh, there's Bullet City and Gas City
Yeah.
and Water City. It's like that's the infrastructure or multi-engine silly cars. that
Yeah, you have a gas refinery because that's always a thing. Like people have pointed out, like, oh yeah, like after a year, like all the gas that's been not being used will be like useless by then or whatever. And so it's like well, that's fun when you can't. That's not fun when you can't use a car in the apocalypse. Come on.
Well, the most essential vehicle in the apocalypse that you need to run that's a gas hog would be grain trucks, harvesting equipment. You can figure out how to do it. It's like those get mileage like tanks too. It's like, yeah, that's
yeah. You'd have to switch to like steam powered again, which you could do, but it would be dangerous. But you're in the apocalypse; everything's dangerous. So who cares?
You got plenty of time. It's just death. It's like, oh, am I going to starve to death or die from a simple infection? Or build a steam locomotive. Actually, you can make diesel if you have access to things. You can't make refined gasoline.
But I was thinking of like an apocalypse thing where there's like loosely connected groups of people, and then like they have like weapons because like the bullets would still be good for years at least. Weapons would still be effective, and then like but then they're just on like mountain bikes, trundling around.
They're just like throwing a lever and it locks the bars straight so they can fire a rifle while balancing their legs. Yeah. It's like it doesn't seem as badass, but it actually is. It's still mounted men that can move quicker. It would probably be the same amount of derailing a bike or crippling a horse would require about the same effort. So. Yeah. But you'd have bikes with like wild gear ratios so they could move really fast. It's like just frightening. Or you'd have a pedal man behind you. Stabilize, I shoot. And then you're blasting away from a bicycle.
Or if you could figure it out, or at least keep the battery cells alive, you could still have one of those like electric motor assisted bikes.
Oh, so you just put an attack mode, turn the electric motor on.
Yeah, and then your pedaling would actually like backfill. You know, when you would switch off, your pedaling would backfill the battery.
Yeah.
So, um, uh, now where are we?
That wasn't happening here.
The carpetbagger sees Josie Whale and sells him out, or he just says his name. I don't know.
He
I don't
just
know.
yells his name.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like mouse behind it, or if he's just like, I remember that guy. Holy
Yeah.
shit! Like what he's become now.
Josey Wales, that's him. And then he has to throw himself to the ground because a huge gun battle breaks out.
Yeah, there's some Union soldiers nearby, and they kind of figure like oh, should we pull pistols on them? And then they slowly pull their pistols, and Josie Wales just Josie and Waddy like shoots at him, but Josie has to drop all his stuff to grab his gun, and then Waddy gets like the last guy. Josie and Waddy ride out of town. Moonlight gets like knocked down by the Union soldiers, but she kind of runs interference. I'm not sure if this is on purpose or accidental.
No, she was running interference.
Okay.
On purpose. Yeah.
Right. And then we cut to like where just Waddy and Josie are just riding out there, and he's talking about like I kind of liked her, and he's like when and he says like when I get to liking someone, they aren't around long, and then Waddy's like seems like if you dislike somebody, they aren't around long either. So, then we cut to there's some catch up with Fletcher and Terrell as they come to that town, and they just have like 4 people like who are these people? There's just these dead bodies.
Those are the bounty hunters.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
And this is where we get Fletcher says like, I don't want to hear Josie Wales dead. I want to see him dead. He also says that I forget how it works here because they're also talking about the bounty hunters and like, hey, people need to make money and like these guys need a job. But he also says like Josie wants us to think he's heading this way, but he's actually heading southwest, but we should head north. And I forget the whole thing, how that works. It's like, can you explain that to me, Nathan?
Yeah, that is a key point in the movie. It's like they're trying to, they're like trying to second guess, like which way will they go?
Yeah.
And it's like, did they think we're gonna go? I forget it. It's like it's a lot of like double think, and it ends up being like, yeah, we're just gonna go south because they're gonna expect that, and then they're gonna go north, and then it's like, okay, kind of like a humorous thing between him and Lone Waddy, and really you can tell like, I don't know, this is just a chance. I don't actually stand here, but I'm gonna sound confident about it.
Okay.
Or not, and I'm just gonna look in the distance and be like.
We come back to Josie and Waddy. Waddy suspects they're being followed by 2 horses. Then they like basically lead the 2 horses they hear after them into the desert. Then Waddy jumps Moonlight, who's the one following them, which is funny because they're like she's about to stab him, and then Josie like holds her back from stabbing him. And then he's like, oh, thank God. Waddy's like, thank God you got here. I would have like ended her life. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like Josie Wales is like the first like sarcastic like grunge rocker from Seattle, but just as a Western.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, man. The crew camp by the river at night. Josie finds Waddy and Moonlight having sex, which kind of throws off Josie, but then he moves on. He's like, well, yeah, whatever. Get yours, man.
And he's like, I'm not as old as I thought.
See, I got the drop on her. Then we cut to they come upon a gang harassing and stealing stuff from what's he call them, the Pilgrims from Kansas, which we see this lady in the town because she's
that's
the
the lady who asked him if he was raised in a barn for spit.
Yeah. Which is just a classically written character to the point of like, is this actress like, no, this is another old actress that plays this exact character who just like doesn't like people and has kind of like a shrill voice, and you can like hear it piercing over everything in the movie. So
She's always like vaguely religious and disproving.
Because like she sounds exactly like the Sparkle Motion lady,
Yes.
and it's like it's not the same character. These are completely different people, but it's like the same exact character type. So, um,
Yes, they're being ambushed by the Comancheros,
okay,
which is a combination of Comanche natives, Americans, and Mexicans that are basically just pirates that
okay, all right,
trade with the Comanche nation by stealing from settlers.
okay, um. Yeah, the gang. Yeah, they dump a piano out of the back of this wagon, and the gang find a young lady in there, and they all creepily look at her, and they really hang on this moment. So,
The camera definitely lingers.
which this is Laura. This is played by Sandra Locke
Yes.
or Sandra Locke, who
Yeah.
has a very dark history, especially with Clint Eastwood. So
Yeah, it's not good.
yeah, because he like ended up both her and Philip Kaufman were like courting her, and then she ended up with Clint Eastwood while he was married, which apparently he had an open marriage, and it's all weird.
Yeah.
And then she married like her gay best friend, and that's also a weird thing. So
She was married to until her death. Like
yes.
that marriage never got annulled.
And it felt like after she stopped dating Clint Eastwood, like her career just kind of took a nosedive.
Yeah.
She was with him for like 12 years or something like that. Because she was in because the next year they did the Gauntlet together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was basically with her from the time this movie was made until like the late 80s. So yeah, it went on for a while.
Which she has a crazy look. She looks like an anime character. She's got huge eyes and she's very thin. So
Yeah. Nobody was sure what her age was all her life.
Yeah.
She always said she was much younger than she actually was.
Yeah.
She could keep getting roles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something you had to do because they look at a number and they think stupid things. So.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, the guys start ripping off her clothes. One of the gang members stops and it's like, basically it's like, oh, does he have some moral character? It's like, no, she's worth more fresh. So it's like, okay, Jesus.
Yeah, and this guy, you've seen this guy. He's a character actor. He plays a bad guy in everything.
Oh, okay.
He's the gang leader of the Comancheros.
Oh, was he in a bunch of other Clint Eastwood movies as well?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that face.
I think he has like blue eyes also, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yes. He's very striking. So.
Yeah.
Because he looks very dirty, but then just has these bright blue eyes. It's like, that's weird. So.
Yeah, his name's John Quaid.
Okay.
That's the actor's name. I think he has another name that he was born with. But yeah, he's most famous for Every Which Way But Loose.
Right, okay.
That was his big one. But yeah, he was in...
Which a lot of people were in that movie from here too, because it's also Sandra Locke is in that as well. So
yeah,
but yeah, this guy intervenes just before like Josey decides whether he's going to intervene. It's like, do I have to attack another? Do I have to be outnumbered and rush in and attack another group of people? And then like, oh, somebody rushes in, so which he ends up doing that anyways. So but he has a bit more time. When the sun to his back, one of those things. So.
That's one of the things. Yeah, that's because Lone Waddy says, yeah, guys like you that are good at killing, they always have an edge. They always have something they do. With you, it's the sun's always to your back, and he's like, that helps.
Waddy, I can't remember if he does this on purpose or not. He knocks over a rock and distracts the gang as they go like race after him, and he's just sitting there by himself, no horse or nothing. Then we cut to Josey tracks the gang. Wait, he goes and stands in front of the piano for a moment, which just like is like a cool looking shot. It looks like something out of like Fallout or something like that.
Just having a piano in the middle of a desert or the woods is immediately like, well, something's not right.
Yeah.
Because I think there's piano imagery in one of the Southern Reach books where there's a piano somewhere. It should.
Oh, okay.
I think it was in Absolution, but yeah, that's always like whether to see it or to have it described. It's like that would be weird if you just came across a piano somewhere. It wasn't indoors.
Oh, what? I can't remember. It's like I think it was a one-hit wonder band, but they have some song where the music video is like a piano burning on a beach.
Okay,
Do you
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I know
That
Emerson.
one was like "You have it all," but or I know what? No, crap. What is it? Like the dun 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 dun, dun, like what is this? Dun, dun, you know what I'm talking about? Crap. What the hell is that song?
I can't remember it.
Oh, but you can't have it. Faith No More. Epic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now I know what song you're talking about.
I believe there's a burning piano on a beach in that music video.
Probably. What is it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I know Emerson, Lake and Palmer did weird stuff where they had like glass pianos and they were lowered from like the top. Like a guy was playing it being lowered through the air. They did weird stuff with pianos.
Do you know who Robbie Williams is?
No.
He's like a British pop singer.
Okay.
Did you see that? Well, you don't know who he is, and you probably didn't see the movie they made about him where he's played by a digital chimp.
Okay, no.
He has a biography about himself where he's replaced by a digital chimpanzee.
That's an interesting move.
And you see I've seen like the commercial for it, and it's like it's just following his life, and like he apparently they did all these crazy things in these productions, and like I think he had a couple of hit songs in America, but really he was big overseas and nobody in America knows who he is. But he's like, when he talks about himself, he'll always talk about himself being as like the biggest pop star in the world, which is just hilarious when you have no idea who somebody is. But yeah, there was some performance where it's like they had a bunch of like upside down crosses and he was like positioned in 30 feet in the air crucified on a cross, for a pop singing show, for a pop show. So it's like, what is this?
Yeah, that's a little Marilyn Manson music that's coming out.
I bet, I think, because he had some hit here called like Millennium, and like, I'm not sure if there's one song he had where like the music video is crazy because he's like ripping his skin off until he's just like a head on a skeleton singing. It's like the weirdest nonsense. Where are we at? Oh yeah, Josey tracks the game. They have the two women and Waddy tied to a cart, and like the old lady like falls, and he's like, Waddy's like, you got to get up because they'll just keep going. They won't pick you up. So it's like, they talk about like taking her to 10 Bears, which that's the Comanche. Was it Comanche? Yeah, Comanche or Cheyenne? Comanche. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Josey stands atop a hill. He's got a white flag on his rifle. And then see where we have Waddy says, they all stop. And then
best line in the movie.
Waddy says, get ready, little lady. Hell's coming to breakfast. So.
It actually says, get ready, Granny. Hell's about to come to breakfast.
Then 4 riders go up to meet Josey, and then Josey just shoots him. He doesn't say a word. There's a long pause. He doesn't just immediately shoot them. He like stares at him, spits his tobacco, because even Waddy calls it out. Like, you got to spit your tobacco first. That's like the distraction, and then he just shoots the guys, and then runs in and shoots all the guys, and then like he chases the last guy who just like runs away, and then Moonlight is off, like hid somewhere, and just shoots that guy, so she gets a kill. So,
yeah.
Then Josey cuts the people free. They take the 2 women with them because they see Comanches like oh, well, we better get away. We just killed like a bunch of their friends. So that's the Comancheros. So they, like you said, they just stole stuff from people and took it to Comanches to trade with. So
now, if you want to know about weird stuff going on the borders and another fictionalized one, it's read Blood Meridian. It's set in the 1850s, so it's before the Civil War.
Okay.
But it's literally, and it's a Cormac McCarthy novel, literally the most frightening Western you'll ever
So now the gang have like a bunch of more people a part of the crew. They have a horse, a carriage, and like some oxen. So we're getting totally into like Oregon Trail territory here. So
yeah.
They set up camp in the day. The old lady talks about a ranch they're going to that her son built, and like she says like it's this amazing thing, and that her son ain't no liar. So Um, then they come upon another town where a lady is singing. It's a bar full of folks and no alcohol. And then Josey walks in, and like he's like looking to get a drink and like pay around for everybody else, and they're like, yeah, we don't have any alcohol. It's like, well, that's a bummer. And he just spits chew and leaves, and he's like, well, that's it. And he comes back with a box of whiskey, and they're like, oh yeah. So yeah, it's like the most good guy moment for. Well, I mean, he saves a bunch of people from horrible things, but he's not enthusiastic about doing it. Here he's like, well, I brought the whiskey, the party can start. So, um, this is the town Santa Rio, which died when they say when the silver ran out, so everybody left. The lady mentions her son fighting for the red leg, which was Tom Turner's her son,
I believe so. Yep.
and Laura's his daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like two guys they were with that died. There's like uncle and like did the old lady the grandma's husband died because she said uncle somebody and somebody else died. I can't remember who
Yeah, I
those
think
people
the
are.
Comancheros killed them because
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
two dead men. Yeah, I think one of them was her husband.
Oh, okay. She didn't seem too like on like.
She was a woman of the hard plains.
Yeah.
Most family members dying was just a thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, he had 14 kids and hoped 3 of them would survive. So, a couple of bounty hunters show up and Josey just identifies himself, and uh, and they're like, yeah, this guy's saying like, yeah, you got to make a living somehow. And he's just like, dying ain't much of a living, boy. So then he backs out of there, and then he comes back. It's like, I had to come back. He's like, yeah, I know. And then they draw, and just Josey just kills him. So this is more of a straight up, just like gunslinger gunfight going on here. So it's just who's the quickest draw. So they head off from there. They head up near. They end up around like a Comanche scouting squad, and then like Josey tries to go to like talk to them, and they just kind of like head off. And then Waddy warns that they're riding heavy, so they might come back. They find Tom Turner's ranch, which everyone seems happy about it except for Josey. Because they're like, oh, this is awesome. Like, it's not necessarily as she described, but it's like, for what they've been through, it might as well be exactly as what she described. So like this is heaven. Like looks like clean water. There's a ranch here. But Josey, he does keep himself from spitting on the floor. So like as like grandma like immediately opens the windows and starts like sweeping. So he's like, all right, I'll let you have this. So, we cut to night. Josey talks with Waddy, saying he's going to leave but drop in from time to time, which Waddy doesn't believe at all. But it's like, okay, yeah, you can say these things, but it's not true. We cut to the next day. Everyone but Josey is putting in work to like fix the ranch up, which they've now added a couple guys from the bar.
Yeah.
So, which they don't really get names, or I forget what their names are.
One of them's named Chato.
Okay.
He's like the Spanish guy.
Okay.
And I forget what the other one. Yeah, they do have names.
And then we have this where we have Josey starts having flashbacks as a family getting killed. Then we cut to like Laura's in a white dress and looks at Josey and then just kind of like runs off. It's like, oh, he looked at me. Then we have then we cut to the grandma and Laura are playing some music, which the dog is kind of howling at because they're kind of doing a bad job here. And then Josey just spits on the dog again. They're like holding a service for grandpa and uncle who died by the Comancheros. Then we have Waddy comes back beat up, saying the Comanches like took the 2 Spanish guys or whatever, and are heading for him. So I had that being in Act 2. Act 3, Josey's setting up the ranch and rolls for like holding off an attack because I think they were going to have to fight the Comanche. And he's like, keep the iron hot, to slap some iron on it to stop the bleeding. So they just had the fire going with poker.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a theme in this movie. Yeah.
We cut to morning. Josey heads off to go fight 10 bears on his own. Waddy says he's expecting to die, not to come back. Then we have Josey meets with 10 bears, and here he says like, I came here to die with you or to live with you, which is a great line.
This is the greatest, some of the greatest dialogue in this movie.
But But yeah, this is where he just like, it was like, well, I'm a warrior, right? Like, you're a warrior. It's like, why don't we try living? Which is like an interesting thing for this character to bring up because that's not what he does. So
Yeah, because he's like, you're Ten Bears, and he's like, I am, and Ten Bears, he says, I'm Josie Wales, and he's like, I have heard you're the Gray Rider.
yes,
You make peace with the Blue Coats. You may go in peace. And Josie's like, I reckon not. Got nowhere to go. And then Ten Bear's like, you will die. And he said, I came here to die with you or live with you. Dying ain't hard for us. It's living that's hard. And then it's like a long paragraph of dialogue, but it kind of like, it's like, we can live together, but I'm not going to do anything extra for you, and you're not going to do anything extra for me. We're going to live here like the bear and the wolf, like,
yeah.
we're going to use resources. And then Ten Bears and says, and what of your word of death? And it's like, it's here in my pistols and there in your rifle. I'm here for either one. And then Ten Bears like, these things you say we already have. We don't need your help. And it says like, I'm not giving you anything extra. But then he tells him, he's like, yeah, the governments lie and the chiefs lie, but we can trust each other. And it was like actually kind of a cool dialogue. It's sort of like corny by today's standards, but also very well done.
Yeah,
At the same time, it's like, it is kind of cool. It's like, I either bring life or death. It's your choice, because
well,
I'm here
it's just
anyway. So.
it's just an interesting dichotomy where it's like the most dangerous person in this movie offers peace. But he's not really looking for a fight. He just always finds one, or people are fighting him. So
yeah.
he'd rather like do nothing at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, they like both like do like they slice their hands open and like shake hands, so they get the little like blood pact going on here. So,
Yeah, they're blood brothers, which in America we always associate that with the Native Americans, but that was actually something the French did, the Germans did.
huh?
That goes back through Europe. It's a way to seal pacts with people.
Okay.
They don't do it much now because of bloodborne diseases, but hey, it was kind of cool.
Josey comes back with a couple of guys they got back at the. Oh yeah, because they had them buried up to their necks, like
Yeah.
So they're out now. They're singing and dancing. Josey brands some cattle. Laura gives Josey like a braid of hair, which he's like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. It's like, it'd be for a watch. It's like, oh yeah, a watch. I certainly have a watch. I've been meaning to get one. So you can see him like kind of breaking down here, so it's kind of cute for like the. You're gonna have this sudden relationship in the movie, so you gotta do it somehow. So, yeah, because he never like he had this horrible experience, but like he never tells anybody, so it's always quiet to him. He's like, yeah, I had a wife and kid, and they died. He just never mentions. We know this, but he never mentions it to anybody else. So
Talk to anyone.
They asked Josey for a request, but the only song he knows by name is the Rose of Alabama from when Jamie was singing it. So, then we cut to Terrell and his crew like come to the bar where Josey shot the bounty hunter. So they get some like insight of him being around. Then we cut to night. Josey hangs out with Laura. They share a kiss and then basically have sex.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly under darkness here, and then they just cut to Josey waking up from a nightmare of his kid screaming, and there's like a lightning sound effect, which I don't know if that was like a part of the nightmare or a lightning sounded in real life. I don't know, but he only woke up, so I guess it was probably just in his head.
He knows something's coming.
We cut to it's dawn. Josey is getting up to ride out. Waddy inquires about what he's doing, but doesn't believe anything he says will come true. It's like, yeah, I'll come back from time to time. It's like, no, you're gonna go die. It's like, Then it's funny because like, Josey actually like starts talking and saying more than usual, and then like we cut to like, Waddy has just left mid conversation. So it's like when he was talking about his life and like he just went to sleep. So it's like turnabout's fair play here. So
these men don't have time for each other's bullshit.
So he goes about 5 feet and just immediately heads into Terrell and his crew are just there. So they ride up to meet him. And then the house stick guns out of the holes and like they have Josey's back, and then a firefight just ensues. Josey falls off his horse, but he like holds his own, just like fighting from the ground. It seems to be wildly effective right now. So
yeah, he's doing.
I mean, they're taking fire from multiple positions, so I guess it gives him some of advantage. They
Yeah,
can focus
further
on.
away people are actually using rifles.
Yeah,
So yeah, they can reach out a little bit. Yeah, they're kind of. I don't think anyone has a rifle in their crew.
yeah.
So
Um, a guy tries to make a way through the roof because like Josey even pointed out this was going to happen. Laura shoots him. She seems kind of like weirded out by this because like it's for someone she like shot somebody that she knows she shot and killed like right in front of her. So, but back to shooting other people. And like I think Granny's supposed to be like loading rifles, but she's just grabbing. They just have like 12 rifles loaded up already, and they just keep grabbing different rifles. So
yeah,
um,
yeah, time seems to stretch in this siege. It's like I think more time is passing than we're aware.
yeah.
Just getting snapshots of it.
Uh, let me see. Josey has a gunshot in the side of his stomach, or in the stomach. We're not sure. So, not sure
I'm
how
assuming
serious
it's
it
a
is.
side hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
the stomach wounds are incredibly painful. There's all that wonderful acid starts to move through your body.
He gets on a horse and chases after Terrell because like Terrell's basically the last one alive. Josey finds Terrell's blood trail. Josey pulls out all of his guns and fires them, but they're all empty. So see how
Which is
like
a cool scene because he's actually having like a mental breakdown
yeah
because he's flashing back in and out of his thing
yeah
and he's pulling out empty guns, click, click, click. It's like, oh, is this going to be Russian roulette? One of them's no, he's out of ammo, which makes sense because he shot so many
yeah.
people. It's like, yeah, he's not reloading.
And Terrell pulls out his sword, and Josey kind of grabs a hold of it while Terrell's still holding on to it. Makes Terrell stab himself to death with it. So it's
Yeah,
a pretty gruesome way to go. So.
yeah.
We cut to Josey walks to the bar. The patron there start calling Josey Mr. Wilson because there's some Texas Rangers there looking for him, and we see Fletcher kind of reveals himself from the darkness. Fletcher gets up to the bar and like with a drink and glances at Josey. The Texas Rangers get the patrons to sign an affidavit about like, hey, we heard of Josey Wales' death. Yeah, that's what happened. Got killed by some 5 Comancheros. That's what happened.
Died down in Monterrey, Mexico.
So the Texas Rangers get that signature. It's like, yeah, I'm good with that. So they head off, and then Fletcher's just like talking like basically to everybody. And he says, "Yeah, I think Josey Wales still alive." Says I'll meet him down in Mexico. Then Fletcher says he'll tell him the war is over and that he owes him the first move. And we see blood dripping on Josey's foot, and then he gets on the horse and heads off. So we don't know if this like is this a mortal wound, like what's going on here. Fletcher turns and leaves, and then we cut to Josey rides off into the sunset and credits. So it's up to you to what happened. I mean, it's the West, so probably nothing good, but hey, whatever you want. So
Well, it's like the Texas Rangers were ready to wash their hands of this.
then I presume Fletcher will just go on like getting money out of the senators. Like, yep, still chasing them. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the Outlaw Josey Wales. A very interesting 70s Western movie. So
One of my favorite Westerns. With a very cool poster, by the way.
yeah, because I've never seen this movie before, but I know the poster because it's just like Clint Eastwood screaming with 2 guns in the air.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about it, it's kind of interesting because it's a story told at like the end of the Civil War from the side of a Southerner, but you actually understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Now, of course, it was written by a organizer of the Ku Klux Klan and a really not a nice guy.
Well, we're sending a probe into space containing a supercut of the scenes from the imperfect collection of movies that make up the Verhoeven Effect. So, Nathan, what one scene from this movie are we shoving into space?
It's really going to be hard with this movie because it moves through so many different moments.
Yeah.
But I guess I would have to say I like the scene where he talks to 10 Bears, but that's really weird because Josey Wales is talking more than he ever talks.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be it. And then I also like the scene where he is at the with the ferry,
Yeah.
where he pulls out the Sharps rifle, and you're like I said, oh, he's just gonna shoot the guy who's running. That's brutal, but he's got to do what he has to do. Instead, he goes a different way with it, where it's like he chooses not to kill people, and it's
Yeah.
actually more effective than just murder. So he's not like entirely evil. It's just people keep coming at it.
Yeah.
I have to say the Missouri boat ride.
Okay.
It shows you everything because he's a smart person. He's thinking ahead. He's not revealing his plans to others because he doesn't spare words. So
You can find us on Letterboxd, username VHE. 1 out of 5 stars. What are you getting out
oh,
of
it's a
Outlaw?
solid 5
Okay.
for the movie itself. Don't look into the history and the guy. One's endorsing that. It's just they took a story and told it very well, and you care about the characters. There was some pretty good development of the main characters. Not so much his love interest that seemed to come.
Yeah.
was like
It's
fourth
later.
act thing, but
Yeah, I think Granny's the only character that, actresses that get any kind of like, like
stand
screen
out
time, and dialogue.
because she's just so optimistic and
Well, like
forceful.
Moonlight's such an interesting character, and then she's basically gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, she's shooting people from the house, but yeah, I liked her. It's like, what's her story? But she also didn't speak English.
Yeah.
Because remember, she would talk like just incessantly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because there's the fun thing where you rescue Waddy, and it's like, I can't understand her, so I need you to translate for me. So,
and then she just keeps talking, and he's like, "Does she ever shut up?" He just kind of shrugs his shoulders, and because she's going around doing all the camp work, cooking all the meals, but she just talks in a continuous loop the whole time. And these two guys are just like, oh, how much sound do we need?
You can find us at verhoeffect.com. Or you can rate us on whatever podcast platform of your choice. The only thing the algorithm listens to is the highest rating. So remember, give us the highest rating. Confuse the algorithm. Confuse the AI. Like, help the working man.
Confuse yourself.
You can find us at Twitter at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Blue Sky Social at Verhoeven Effect. And you can find us at Facebook at Verhoeven Effect. And you can find us on YouTube at American Greed Factory. And we watch both this and that show live and unedited. So for the Verhoeven Effect podcast, I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
Goodbye, America.